Right, so this in front of us is the British Action Force version of the G.I. Joe S.N.A.K.E armour, in this country just called Escape Armour. It was released here as part of the sort of the 5-point articulation Action Force toys. This is actually in the Red Shadows red colour. The original G.I. Joe version was in white, the later blue version, if I remember correctly. Now, I've seen some reviews of this, reviews of this S.N.A.K.E armour version of this, and it's always been rated quite badly by other reviewers, when, to be honest, this is actually one of my favourite toys from my childhood, actually. It's a bit of an oddity. This is actually one of the, in fact, it's the only original Action Force or G.I. Joe toy I still own from my childhood. The rest of my collection I gave away to a sort of young boy who my mother used to sort of look after when I was a teenager, and he loved those figures, so I just gave him the box and said, here you go, you like them, you take them. But by sheer luck or by sheer design, I don't know, somehow the Escape Armour didn't get in that box, so I still own it to this very day. So it's basically the same as the G.I. Joe version, but the main difference being the decor. It actually has the sort of skull and crossbones of the red shadows on the back there, and the strange sort of lettering that was deciphered using a sort of code that came with the Black Major figure. Give like a little red book that allowed you to decipher all these strange sort of symbols that appeared on all the vehicles for the red shadows. Now, my version, as you can see there, actually has Cobra emblems on the shoulders. I believe how this happened was, I think the Battle Action Force comic gave away some stickers as a free gift. The idea being you could use those to sort of Cobra-ise your old Red Shadows vehicles when the change happened in 1985, when they sort of started releasing the G.I. Joe versions of the characters. So we sort of changed from the 5 points articulation, sort of 4 forces, Z Force, SAS, Space and Q Force, and the Red Shadows, just having Cobra and Action Force as it was, and those are the same characters that you had in states like Duke and Scarlet and whatnot, and the enemies were Cobra Commander and Baroness and so on. So pretty much the sort of the mythology became the same as it is in America with G.I. Joe. So they gave you these stickers. You could basically sort of still use your old vehicles as part of play by having them sort of with Cobra symbols on, but mine sort of stayed a bit of both. It's got the Red Shadows symbols and the Cobra symbols. But as I said, it's actually always been one of my favourite toys, this really, because the idea is it can be lots of different things. As it is, can be just a robot to work with your Red Shadows figure, which comes with it. Or, of course, as you're probably aware if you've seen the American version, I mean, how it sort of stands up, oops, when it's sort of without a figure inside, using this sort of this strange stirrup device inside this sort of frame here that supports it together. Or what you can do is you can basically pop your Red Shadow inside like this. Actually, these guys don't fit so well because they're also not designed for this, where it should be really a multi-jointed figure. And he goes inside like so. Okay, doesn't look so great. Looks a lot better basically if you actually have a fully articulated G.I. Joe figure. There we go, case in point. So I tend to use this more as like a kind of robot really than an actual vehicle or container for the figures. Hard to do this, we've got a cam in front of you. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Or what you could do is also maybe put a sort of an enemy figure or a good guy figure inside this and have him being controlled by the robot is an idea. Like that for now. Also, actually comes with other attachments as per the G.I. Joe release. I'm missing the flamethrower, but I've got the machine gun, the missile and the claw. And the Red Shadow it comes with is the same as the regular Red Shadow on a card. And it came with the same bazooka and ammo pack that comes with. The later version that was released to sort of coincide with the sort of move to sort of Cobra and G.I. Joe style figures, exactly the same coloured armour, but came with the same figure as the Hiss tanks. It came with the Hiss driver. The idea was you put him inside the Armour, which I guess kind of works a bit better really. But as I said, still one of my favourites, this, and very hard to locate now, so I'm actually very pleased this did survive my childhood. And great piece to own, and definitely one of my favourites, even if not very popular amongst other G.I. Joe and Action Force collectors. Okay, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure.